who the fuck is Kota Ibushi and why am I supposed to care about this guy included in this blood and guts match that I know most of these niggas in, but I don't know Kota Ibushi? And then it's like, you look at the Nick Wayne package from last week that everybody's raving about. It's like, yo, this is the best shit ever. Like, yo, this is how you introduce somebody. And it's like, damn, you're right. That is kind of how you introduce motherfuckers in AEW. With this extensive video package to really make you care. He's coming and stare at the screen didn't make niggas go, yo, I'm excited to see Kota Ibushi. But because you're an AEW fan, you're just supposed to automatically know, yo, Kota Ibushi's that nigga. But maybe I don't know he's that nigga. So I got to do my own research to find out if he is. Nah, like, I'm just not. You know what I'm saying? It's like, I'm here for the product right now. This is where I'm at with it. Give me the Nick Wayne video package for everybody that comes in. Pause. Like, everybody that comes to AEW, I want that Nick Wayne video package, that extensive video package. Japan, Australia, I don't care what country you come from. I want an extensive video package showing me why I should care about you and not me having to go run back to YouTube to see highlights of your matches from a G1 Climax 5 years ago. I don't want to see that with AEW wrestling when it comes to the New Japan crossover. And that's just my shit right now. Trying to get me to just be loyal to the soil with these Japanese wrestlers coming over here and, you know what I'm saying? Invading, doing what they do. Whether they're all elite or it's a crossover, I ain't saying I watch New Japan, but I go out of my way to watch New Japan. I can't just say I naturally watch New Japan.
And I might even one up you too, bro. I won't even just call it New Japan people, right? What's the backstory of the Bullet Club? What new AEW fan that doesn't know anything? Let's leave it all right where we're at. We're in the moment right now, like you said. Who knows who the Bullet Club is? So it's like even people like Jay White and Juice Robinson. How do you expect them to get over with the new fans without you showing a backstory so we know who they are, where they came from? There needs to be a little bit more done to develop these people. So I
Yo,
think this is a
fam,
good
they
topic.
said this was one of the biggest signings, the biggest free agents, hottest free agents. And I'm going
We were
back.
there. We're there
We
and
were
they
there.
ran out. That was it.
Hottest free agent. And it's just like, FTR probably got a bigger pop. Then it's like,
FTR had a bigger pop that night, no doubt.
and it's like, yo, granted, I'm familiar with Jay White. I know what's going on, but not everyone in the building in common ass Hicksville, Long Island knows about what's going on with Jay White and the fucking Bullet Club. You know what I'm
Yep.
saying? So let the debates begin. Ayo,
Bruh, I don't. Why is AEW for everybody? It's not. I don't know why y'all think just because this shit's on TNT and TBS that this shit is pop music. It's not. It's never been. This shit just has a budget.
Yeah, they cater to their fan base.
This
That's what it
shit
is.
is not like fam.
I knew you. I just knew it. We
Warner,
have to get to
listen,
the fan base.
dog. The
Like,
one thing I will give you is like the Nick Wayne thing, for instance. Yeah, like I do wish that a little bit more of like a little video or an intro for different people would be done. But again, Warner Brothers Discovery, who cuts those big ass checks, when they put their press release out, they said that we are catering to niche pro wrestling fans. So for your homies that was watching that said they're WWE fans and may watch some AEW, the
That's not who
point
it's
is
for.
this shit is not for them. So if you happen to catch it, you catch it. If you don't, watch WWE. WWE is very self-contained. That's why it's called the WWE universe. So that's why when people come in, their names are changed. We don't care about what you did in New Japan unless you are like the top of the top. But other than that,
Shinsuke Nakamura. And
great.
even still,
That's
some people didn't even know Shinsuke
You're
Nakamura,
right.
what
That's
was going on.
also WWE. AEW, on the other hand, is part of the pro wrestling universe, which is going to bring in people from all different federations and incorporate the actual history of that federation into their shit. And if you know, you know. And if you don't, you don't. That's what AEW is. And you can't expect that shit to be anything other than that. They're not catering to pop wrestling fans. They're not catering to sports entertainment fans. They are catering to people that are wild nerds about this shit.
And that's okay for them to do, but I just want them to just give me a reason to care.
Yeah,
Why the fuck do I care about him?
even if it wasn't catering to, if they just like for instance,
And
right?
again, yo, you're not wrong. I will
Yeah.
say, like, yeah, it'd be dope if you're gonna tell some kind of story to tell a little bit of a plant the seeds and give an intro. But again, a lot of the people that you're talking about, they're bringing in, for instance, Nick Wayne is different because he's a rookie. He's 18 years old, right? they're looking at when AJ Styles got introduced in WWE and he was still AJ Styles, they were betting that that name had some kind of value to people who knew who AJ Styles was.
Right.
Why is that any different to people who had Kota Ibushi's name has value? So we're not going to change Kota Ibushi because he came in here. There was no video package whatsoever for AJ Styles when he came out at the Royal Rumble. And the only reason that nobody shat on that is because he got cheered that night.
And because it's AJ fucking Styles.
What does that mean? If you didn't watch Impact, how do you know who AJ Styles is? If you ain't watched New Japan or ROH, how do you know who AJ Styles
Because
is?
AJ Styles is one of the best wrestlers in the world at that point.
So then
You
your
can't-
argument
can't-
holds up to the same niggas that are watching mad New Japan and they're going to say the same thing. You know what I didn't watch? Any TNA. I didn't know who AJ Styles was until I saw him in New Japan.
AJ Styles
That's
is
fair.
one of the best American wrestlers, point blank, even
Because
before.
you watched TNA.
Yo,
You knew
he
AJ
was-
Styles before he grew the beard out and all of that and grew his hair out. I didn't.
Yo, everybody knew who AJ Styles. Like, I'm still surprised you. Like, there's no way you're cab how you didn't know who AJ Styles was.
I
bro.
had no clue who
That's
AJ Styles
gotta be
was.
cab, bro. AJ
I
has
didn't
been
see
around.
AJ Styles until New Japan and Ring of Honor.
Actually,
So you didn't see him until 20. He's been in Ring of Honor since 2002. He was in the first Ring of Honor
No,
show.
not the first run. I'm talking about the second run after he did the Aces and 8 shit and he already
You're
had the
talking about
beard.
Bullet Club. You're talking about Bullet Club, AJ.
Yeah, I didn't see him until then. I had no clue who AJ
Yeah.
Styles was
no
until then.
lie, I'm in the
This
same.
is Joshi. This is Joshi Ayo
Yeah,
speaking
I'm-
right now.
no,
Of course
I'm
you
in-
saw Bullet Club, AJ. Of course
Dude,
you
I'm
did.
in the same boat. Like I didn't know about AJ Styles.
So
until
that's
you
my
went to New
point.
Japan.
That right
be
there,
honest.
that this is a sample size of me making your point for you. It's the same thing. If you didn't know who AJ Styles was and he just pops up at the Royal Rumble and he gets cheered, but you don't have any idea who he is, you're gonna get on your podcast and then say, "I wish they would have da." But you who were tapped into TNA says he's one of the best and you gotta fuck with him because he's one of the best. What's the difference between somebody who's gonna rep for Kota Ibushi the same way? Same argument.
Kota Ibushi, they're on another continent.
So what? You just aren't tapped into New Japan the way you were tapped into TNA. It's the same argument, bro. That means zero. So then when his music hit yesterday and mad people cheered for him, that's the same cheers that was given to AJ Styles before because people knew who he was and they were tapped in. You just weren't tapped in, or the same
But-
people that are going to make that argument weren't tapped in. Language
an
means nothing.
affiliation.
The language means nothing. The continent means nothing. The federation means nothing. Whether you are tapped in or not is all that matters. And if
I
you
guarantee
aren't,
you,
if you and here's the opportunity, right? If you weren't tapped into whoever, then you give it a shot and let them do their thing, and then if they impress you, they just made a new fan. That's all this shit is. This shit is not WWE Universe where we're building everybody from zero.
if Kota Ibushi didn't come in with Kenny Omega, I don't think this would have been the same reaction.
Because that's his story. That's his background. Golden Lovers and the Golden Elite and all of that shit is the reason why Kenny Omega brought him in the first place. So if you want to talk about storytelling, that's the fucking story.
And when it comes to the rest of the other guys, why the fuck do I care about them? Why am I supposed to care about
You
Kojima?
aren't. If, look, here's the thing. My answer to your question is you're not if you don't care. Fuck with the shit that you do and don't care about the shit that you don't. But don't fault somebody who's wild nerdy about this shit that watches all of that and can tell you stats and blah 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 about all of the above. If they're telling you, nah, this is one of the best I ever seen, you just gotta rock with it because that's what AEW does. They ain't catering to anything casual. Just because they're on TNT and TBS does not mean that they're doing the same thing or anything similar, anything close to what WWE does. This is what WCW used to do, by the way. They used to bring in people from wherever the fuck, and if you knew who they were, they ain't get no video package all the time. They used to bring people in
Yeah, this was
from
94. It's 96.
What
This
does
is
that
a
mean?
different time. You gotta introduce the audience. The common fan, the kids at home want to know who these. There are 8-year-olds who don't know what's going on. So you
So
figure
what?
you
And
should
then you'll
make
see,
it
and then that 8-year-old is
explain.
gonna see some. Everybody sees something in somebody for the first time. So that 8-year-old is gonna see this person who I don't know who he is, I don't know his name, and then he does something cool, and then I'm a fan. It ain't that. This is not difficult whatsoever.
I just feel like when it comes to these New Japan guys, it's a tough crossover for me, man. Because even the Latinos, the AAAs, like I hate to sound like MAGA law right now with my wrestling, but it's like,
Oh
yo,
man,
Oh, jeez.
The bottom line is if you're tapped in, you're tapped in, and if you're not, you're not. And this is all I ask with people to do. All I ask, first of all, I am no New Japan expert. I am no AAA expert. I'm none of that. I just happen to watch a little bit of shit, and if I know some shit about some shit, then I'll say something. All I ask is do not judge every federation through the same lens because they are all not trying to do the same thing. And
Oh,
with
they definitely don't. Because none
right.
of the AAA niggas wrestle like the New Japan niggas.
So
I'll tell you
all
that
I'm
much.
saying is
It's
if you're
very
talking
apparent.
about why AEW is and isn't and when it comes to other people from other federations, do not look at it through the same lens as what you think they should be doing based on what WWE does. Because they are catering to pro wrestling nerds.